I would suggest everybody that's watching this video right now to go for it and add me at Q Quinton Flores on Facebook. I post a lot of free content on how you can get involved in real estate, and I think this would be a great opportunity for you guys to meet who I am and just literally go to my videos section on my Facebook. You will see video after video after video on how to negotiate your contracts. I also have a negotiation course available. You'll also find videos on how to find seller leads. And if you're personally watching this and you do sign up for this program, I will email you 64 ways to find motivated seller leads, which I'll go for and forward to Colin, and Colin will forward it to you guys.
Yeah, just hit, if you want that, email us at thecrew@stopflipping, and hopefully if I can figure it out, I'll put a link in the video below, so check the comments below, but I'm going to see if I can figure that out.
Yeah.
And then we'll definitely hook you up with that. So he sent it out. Now, the idea of this was to find a $50 house. Now, he spent $500 in marketing. I didn't. Okay, I'm a big fat cheater. Now, I will admit, some of this is just flat out circumstantial. I happen to be in the right place at the right time, and I said the right thing to Quentin. Now, I've known Quentin for a couple months now, probably 6, 8 months, something like that. And I said, hey, I'm going down to Corpus. He said, great, here's a list of houses, go look at it. Now, as an investor, I'm pretty good at it. If you're not an investor, if you haven't done this before, if you are literally just starting and you're trying to raise the capital on it, find an investor buddy. There's people out there all day long. They're driving around by themselves. They would love to get you in the car. And I'm going to go over the numbers on Blevins a little bit more in a detail later, where I can actually get it on the whiteboard where you can see what happened with Blevins. But again, we're making roughly $7,000 just because I knew Quentin at the right place at the right time, and he asked me to go do something with it. And so that's how you do a $50 house, guys. And if you remember from the video, I gave her $50 as option money. Now, why did I do that, Q?
Because it was going to give us a window to be able to resell the home. By doing the $50 option, it allows us to have an executed contract, which seals us in the deal on an option period, towards where if I was not able to find a buyer for this property, Colin and I would not be under any obligation to be able to buy this house. We can opt out of it, and that's what the option period is.
Yeah, and we did a 14-day option, if I remember correctly. I think it was a 14-day option. So I said, hey, Miss Lady, here's $50. By the way, guys, you're not going to get that $50 back.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, you can write in the contract if you're actually buying the house that it gets applied to the principal later, but we had no intention of buying the house, so that's not our right. So here's $50, but I need 14 days. So what I bought from her for $50 was an option period. I have 14 days to try and go find a buyer. Now, I have to be honest with you. I talked about this in some of the previous videos. I don't really have a big buyer's list anymore. My buyer's list is pretty small because I tend to buy a lot of the properties. Now, Quentin sells a lot of properties, so he's got a buyer's list with
probably a few thousand.
A few thousand investors. Now, guys, that's how many real estate investors. The pie is plenty big. So a few thousand. So once he did, is he probably either, did you go through your list or did you just blast everybody?
I typically look for people who have purchased real estate in the area. It's actually very simple. When you go to the appraisal district website in whatever county that house that you're prospecting to purchase is in, let's say I locked in a contract agreement with the lady at Blevins, which we did. We have an executed contract with this lady. I went through the entire neighborhood using Zillow.com, and I was looking for homes that were already for sale. Homes that were similar to mine, that were being offered, they were wanting the same amount of money that I would want to resell my home for. Just a little bit below, because I'm trying to keep it at the wholesale price. Once I saw the address, I looked up that address into the court records on the computer, 100% public record at the appraisal district at Corpus. And I found that it was a couple of LLCs that had owned the properties that were for sale in the neighborhood. Obviously, if they own them and they're trying to resell them for whatever the terms would be.
As a corporation, an LLC, limited liability corporation.
Yep, you could literally put that name of that LLC into Google and a bunch of phone numbers will pop up. And that's how I found the buyers for the property that we got. I legit just went down the street and went from home to home to home until I found a corporation, and put that corporation into Google, called them up, told them I had a property for sale, and bada bing, bada boom. They went out there, took a look at it, and bought it right on the spot.
I literally just learned something because I never thought about that. A lot of times you spend effort, and we talked about that, and we'll talk more about it, how to get your buyer's list built up. And I didn't even think about just go find out who's been buying. And if I'm not wrong, in the CAD sites, by the way, most of them are CADs. Like we're in Bexar County, it's BCAD, Bexar County Appraisal District. That was in CAD. I mean, most of the time it ends with CAD. But if I'm not mistaken, in the CAD, you can type in whatever XYZ LLC, and it should pull up all the houses they own. Yeah, so you can tell if they're a major buyer or not as well through that process.
It's actually how I found Collin's company, Alamo Home Source. They've bought a couple of houses from me in the past as well. So if you're marketing for deals in San Antonio, Texas, you are literally looking at a cash buyer right next to us.
Yeah, all the time.
It's one of those things, guys, where it's just about how creative you can get. You know what I mean? When you're getting involved in real estate, there really is no money that you have to put down. You think the minimal is $10 as far as earnest money goes. But when you can figure out how to structure your purchase agreements, you don't even have to put the option money up front either. It's all about just being creative, guys. Being able to not solidify yourself within a contract too much towards where it's a liability for yourself. Because if you don't have the money to buy this piece of real estate, technically, you know, you're putting yourself into a contract agreement. If you don't know what you're doing, you could possibly have to buy that house. So it's very important that you structure your contracts very easily. And I always put that the agreement is subject to my funding partner's approval. In all of my contracts, it says that. That means that if I cannot find the funds from my end buyer or whoever I'm trying to raise the money to purchase this house for, plus my assignment fee, then I can legally opt out of that contract. Most sellers overlook these things. Now, it's always important, guys.
Stop, rewind, listen to that again. Yeah. Put that in the contract. It is contingent on the ability to find the funding. Mm-hmm. If not, you could be sued for, what is that called? When they...
It's more or less like a breach of contract.
Yeah, but specific performance, that's what it is. They can sue you for specific performance and make you buy that house if you don't have little things like that in there. That's the word I was saying.
Mm-hmm. It's very important. You know, wholesaling, it ranges from state to state, guys. And always look up the laws in real estate when you are doing your own due diligence, and if this is the path that you wanted to take. I know that there's probably only one place that's very strict that doesn't even allow wholesaling, and I believe that's Cleveland, Ohio. So sorry, Cleveland guys, if you're watching this. But I mean, other places in Hawaii or 100%, other places in Ohio are 100% okay with you starting your own wholesaling business. But I am in the business of finder's fees. You know, I love being able to go out there and negotiate things with the homeowner. And typically, with the amount of money that I make, I always try to do right by the homeowner as well. They are needing quick cash. I am the source for that cash with my 1,000+ cash buyer database. There's not a house in this market in San Antonio that I can't get rid of, no matter where it is. And I do a lot of things as well. Once you figure out how single family homes work, you can graduate to other things as well, from mobile home parks to multifamily investing, corporate buildings, business buildings, etc. Anything is negotiable. Anything that I can put a contract on, I can resell my rights to that contract to somebody else for a finder's fee based on the performance of that piece of real estate or what it can do. And this is something that I really love about the market in general. San Antonio is on fire, and I guarantee you wherever you're at is on fire as well, with the exception of Cleveland. I'm actually born in Cleveland, which is hilarious. Only reason I know about this.
Yeah. So, but I want to just point out something real quick. I bought a house for $50. Actually, technically, I think it cost me $80 because I had to buy a lockbox. That was like $30. So I think I was $80 out of pocket. He was about $500 out of pocket, and because of networking, guys, you cannot do this business by yourself. You can start off by yourself. There's a lot you can do on your own, but eventually you're going to need help from other people. We have private lenders. We work with wholesalers. We get to know people, but in this project right here, my job was to buy a $50 house. I cheated. But that's not cheating because guess what? It's the real world. You can do an open book exam in the real world. It doesn't matter. So I got Q to go down there and do this. And now something I really want to point out is a lot of people question a lot of times, like, are we taking advantage of these people? Are we doing anything like this? And that is a really big no. And I want to point out a story that you told us when we got here about the lady that you fixed her car for her.
Oh, yeah.
And this whole thing. Like, we're helping people get rid of a house that they don't need. Yes, we're probably getting it cheaper than most people would, but most people don't want this house. So we're buying something that they don't want. So tell me about this lady. You said she was just right up the street, right?
Yeah. So it's literally right down the street from this facility. Very nice house on a street called West Boyer. I had found the seller. She called me on one of my postcards. She was delinquent on her taxes. Now, all this stuff is public record, guys. You can legit drive down a neighborhood and literally take pictures and write down the addresses for every stinky looking ugly house that you can find, and then go and find the owners. And this is something that I could have done for this lady. However, this lady called me on my postcard. I went out there and I took a look at the property. Turned out her sisters had abandoned her And she had 2 daughters. Her daughters didn't care to take care of her either. This lady was about 65 years old, and she owed about $30,000 in taxes on the house. And she didn't have the money to pay for that. Well, guess what? When she passes away, her daughters are going to inherit that debt, being that they're the heirs to the property.
Taxes never go away. You have to pay them. Even
though her daughters abandoned her, even though she was on assisted living with no assistant, she would just get meals every single day from Meals on Wheels. It's a corporation here in San Antonio. You know, I went over there, I presented myself, I offered her $40,000 for her house. I had put the property on a contract. I gave her 10 grand, paid off all of her taxes, I fixed her car, and I got her moved into assisted living area with the amount of money that she made from the property, which I was still able to line up a buyer for that property, and I made a decent amount of money on it. So this is what we try to do, guys. My company name is Q Home Solutions because we provide solutions for homes. And this is for anything, whether the seller needs help, whether she needs help being relocated, being moved. It's all about outsourcing these things and bringing a bunch of people together and building a team for yourself, guys. Because I used to do this on my own, and it was a lot. You figure out that the more that you talk to people, the more that you network, the more that you network with people, the better that your luck is going to grow. And I know a lot of people. I know Colin. I know the guy who owns this company. Obviously, I'm here on this video. You know, so it's more or less how many hands that you can shake, what kind of value you can provide to people, and make sure that you're always putting your heart in every home that you're working on, because that goes full circle. I've done a lot of referral-based businesses where I've actually bought a house, saved a guy from foreclosure. His neighbor was also going into the situation, which I'm closing on a house like this next week. The neighbor, I went and visited her house. She called me because the other guy highly recommended me, and that's 2 houses right off the bat. Only because I did good by the other guy and by doing another job, a good deed over here with this lady in her home. So always do right by every single seller that you can, guys, because that stuff comes full circle. And if you want to build deal flow, constant houses being thrown at you so that you can build the capital that you need to, owner finance your way to the type of freedom that you're wanting in your life, well, then you got to build the capital the right way, guys. So I would highly recommend everybody that's watching this, just go for it and add me on Facebook. It's Q Quentin Flores. And you can literally go through my videos, guys, and I post a lot of content. I would love for you guys to take a look at my Facebook. I got plenty of stuff to teach you guys, especially if you're trying to get involved with the business with no money. This stuff could change your life, guys, and eventually branching off into owner financing to build passive income. I don't think anybody should wholesale full-time. I have a business, but my time is spent majority with my family because I love spending time with my lady. I love seeing my son grow. It's the best thing that, for me to do with my time. I once saw this scene on The Godfather, and on The Godfather he says, "A man that cannot make time for his family is not a real man." And I live and I will die by that. So I figured out a way to monetize and systemize my wholesaling business so I have more time. And eventually I'm moving into owner financing homes. I think I have 2 right now that are prospect. Colin's going to be helping me with one of my owner finance properties. So I'm really excited, guys, but I wouldn't know how to do the owner finance thing if I didn't buy this program, and if I didn't read the book, and if I didn't know people like Colin. So these guys are accessible to you. So if you have any questions for whatever reason, if you're trying to get involved with it, that's the reason you purchased this academy right here, guys. Learn how to provide that type of income for yourself so that you can buy your time back. Because in life, it's not how much money you make, it's how much money you can keep and how many generations you can keep it for. Legacy.
Absolutely. And I wanted to point out one thing about Quentin before. I know we've been on this for a long time, but it's going to be good. So, again, I talk a lot about my background and Eric's background, and y'all know I used to be a teacher, right? So I went from teacher, I went to college, I was a band director, totally different world. Quentin right here, your main goal for this year is to buy a 20-door apartment complex, right?
Yes, 20 doors in an apartment complex.
20-door apartment complex, right? Or 20 units, however you want to phrase it. I always call them doors. So, 20-unit apartment complex. Quentin, can you please tell me where you were 5 years ago?
5 years ago, I was in a jail cell, and I was in there on felony for a felon. I was distributing a lot of marijuana from Colorado here to San Antonio, and I got caught, and I didn't know what the heck I was going to do. I was in there for about a year. I got out on parole, and I had to serve 3 years of probation to get it all taken care of. So that's where I was. That's where I started. And with the money that I had left over, I went and I invested into myself. The same way that you guys are investing into yourself right now by purchasing this program. It's all about figuring things out, putting your own puzzle together. Because my struggle, it didn't define me. honestly, there's this thing that I like a lot. It's a saying. I believe Tony Robbins says this stuff. You know, I didn't have the best childhood. My mother wasn't the best mother. But if she would have been the mother that I wanted, I wouldn't be the man that I'm proud to be that's standing before you guys today in this video. So it's super important, guys, that you look back at the things that you had gone through and then you learn from those things to become a better person. Because ultimately, the things that you've gone through and where you're at now, obviously you're wanting a change in your life by purchasing this program. It's super important, guys, that you don't let your past define who you are. I'm now in a position where I'm almost the best thing to happen to anybody that I meet. It's a crazy feeling. You know, you guys are watching this right now. I think it's really awesome too, because I wouldn't be on videos like this if I didn't change my life around. So real estate granted me the opportunity to be able to build residual income for myself, to be able to see higher profits for myself. And it is a profession that requires no money, no credit. It doesn't matter if you have been in jail or if you are a solidified felon like I am. You can make something of yourself regardless of what you've gone through, guys. It's all about just realizing that even those bad times that you had before, those are blessings in disguise because they set you up for the good things that are gonna come your way. And I will live by this till the day that I die. You know, I keep saying that because I think it's super important that if a man really wants to change, he will. And if he really wants to figure out a way to make things happen, he will. And if he's willing to invest in himself, to learn the things that he needs to learn to become a better man, there is nothing in this world that can hold you back from that education. Education belongs to the universe, guys, but it's how you tap into it and how you can make it your own. Create your own universe, create your own world. And that could be done through owner financing properties. That could be done through wholesaling houses, which I do full-time. I love it. You know, Alamo Home Source, they purchase a lot of real estate from me in San Antonio. So, I mean, I'm really excited that I get this opportunity to be on videos like this to talk about my story, to let you guys know that, you know, I'm not even the coolest guy on the block. I'm not the dude that was like, you know, 100% popular. I was never the guy that had a bunch of money. And I come from a very rough background, growing up in the hood, single mom, orphan, and it was 6 kids, you know. It was all we ever had was each other. And I made it a point to not let that define me, guys. I let it define me to a point towards where it would make me a better person, but I didn't let it make me. And I'm not going to let things like that break me. So it's all about how you can develop yourself, guys, and just make sure that you're taking these things on step by step. And the best advice I can give you guys is just keep on doing until you get it right. And that's how I learned this whole time.
You got to go out there and do one. You don't have to get to the level where you're doing 10 to 30 a month. Just do one and you'll get addicted. Now, I want to point out,
it's true.
5 years,
It's true.
5 years from jail cell felony to doing 30 houses, upwards of 30 houses a month. Even if he turns 3,000, that's 90 grand a month. He's trying to buy a 20-unit apartment complex in 5 years. That's how quickly you can change something. You just got to get off your butt and go do it, okay? Watch these videos and then go apply these videos so that way we can teach you how to do this. You just got to get off your butt and go do the thing. And I have to be honest, like, I had no idea. Quentin's one, I was talking to my wife about it. She's like, who's Quentin? And I was like, I met him a thing, and she's like, why are you going back to Corpus? I was like, trust me, Quentin needs me. She has no idea who I am. And she's like, okay. And I was like, I don't know. They're like one of the nicest gentlemen ever in the history of the world. And I love working with him. It's fun. And hopefully now he will call me first when he hits my market, when the houses that we're looking for in our market. So, but we have a surprise. I almost forgot all about this. So you're going to have to wait right here. We are going to put Quentin to the test. This is a pop quiz. He honestly doesn't even know this is coming. Oh. So wait right here. Don't go anywhere. Wait right there. You can talk or do whatever you want. We'll edit this out. Hold on, I forgot I had this.
So I was not prepared for a pop quiz whatsoever, guys, but I'm excited about this. I'm pretty smart with real estate and stuff like that. But who knows, right? This might be something that hits me on the side.
All right. Again, guys, there are no secrets with Stop Flipping. We're telling you everything we possibly can tell you. So one of the things I've been doing lately in this $50 house challenge is I got an app called, what's it called? It's called Deal Machine, the Deal Machine app.
Oh, yeah.
Download that. Download the app. It's a cool app. I'll put a link down here below. Okay, there's an app, and what you do is you run around. If you see a house that looks vacant, dilapidated, beat up, whatever it is, you take a picture of it, it GPSs, and it sends out postcards that he was just talking. I think it charges me $1 a postcard, though. It's a little high. And I think it's like $49 a month, something. I don't know. Do you know?
Yeah, I believe it's about $50 a month.
Yeah, $50 a month, and it costs you $1 a postcard. So I've been doing that, trying to win this $50 house thing, but then Quentin came to the rescue, and I'm still going to keep doing it, guys. I'm driving around all day, every day. If you're driving around all day, every day, if your job, if you're in sales, if you're a delivery driver, if you're this, and you're driving through neighborhoods, or spend your Saturday, wake up early, don't sit and watch cartoons all morning, go drive for houses, take pictures of them, send them out. It cost me, this is $53. right? I mean, and then they get them back. Now, this is kind of a bad news bears because you see a little yellow sticker on here. Got return to sender to my house because this one says vacant. It was a vacant house. It's completely vacant. So in the app, which is kind of cool, so you take the one that you've got in there, in the app, you push a button and it does something called skip tracing. And when it skip traces, it gives you a phone number. Hopefully it's a correct phone number. Now, because of that, I have 2 phone numbers that I skip traced. I'm about to do the 3rd one right here. So these 2 phone numbers I skip traced, if you can see them on the little post-it note, and I'm going to have Q call. I want to hear what Q says whenever he calls somebody. Pop quiz. What do you call when you say these things? I found the names. The numbers are all right here, and then the address is right up top, and I'm going to skip trace this 3rd one while you're looking for it.
Okay, let's do it.
How much fun is this? Let's see if Q can buy me another house.
Let's see if it happens on live camera.
But we can edit, but we won't.
This person's name is Todd Dunn. I'm giving him a phone call, and I'm going to be asking about the property over here on Victory Cave-In. Is that cave?
Cavern.
Cavern. Okay.
Cavern, yeah. I have terrible handwriting.
So we're going forward and reaching out to this.
Hello?
Yes, I'm looking for the person named Todd Dunn.
The person or what?
I'm looking for someone named Todd Dunn.
Oh, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number.
I apologize about that. Thank you.
No problem.
Whoops.
So
There's
on this video, you're gonna see a lot of this, guys. When you do skip tracing, sometimes you're gonna run into relatives or people that know of that person. So it's very important to build the rapport right up front and to stay consistent with this because it's never done off of the first call. You can get lucky. I've gotten lucky before. But I'm gonna go for it and call the next number that's attached to this home, and I'm gonna ask for a Mr. Todd Dunn because that is the owner of record for this property. And the house has obviously been sitting vacant for quite some time. Picture of the home and everything. It's beautiful. Let's see if we can get a bite, guys. I'm excited about this.
I kind of am too. And then I just pulled. There's a 3rd one. That's what I've been doing.
Sweet. Come on. Again, if it keeps ringing like this, one of the things that you can do is go for it and leave a voicemail.
You have reached the number you dialed. Please leave a message.
That's not helpful.
Connect the line.
Hi, this is Quentin Flores. I'm looking for a Mr. Dunn. I'm calling in regards to the property located at Victory Cave-In. If you can, go for it and give me a call back at 210-896-0713. You can reach me at this number anytime. I just had a couple of questions regarding the property. I look forward to speaking with you, and you have a blessed evening. Thank you.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. We got 3 more. We're going to keep doing this, so hopefully I can get a... Oh, this one's got 4 phone numbers.
Let's do it. Let's use one of those ones real quick on the app. 210-289-1176.
And we're looking for Arlene Kimbrough. Now this house looked like it had been vacant for a long time, so I'm not surprised this one came back. We actually bought the house right next door to this one. That's why I'm having to catch it. It's on a huge lot, dude. Like it's a good prop.
Okay.
It also tells me she's a female born in 1932.
Hi, I'm looking for Mrs. Arlene.
You got the wrong number.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Oh God, talk about a mean person. Okay, and we're gonna keep calling numbers. She has a few phone numbers, so we're gonna keep going through them until we get a ring and/or somebody who knows of this person. Now, once we make point of contact, we track that person down. We go and set up a meeting with that person, and we make a deal.
14, switch, 4,
Okay,
1.
keep going.
Something wrong with that number.
441.
No, 4441.
Oh, 4441. Okay. And this is the same person?
I was supposed to be
Arlene.
Arlene. Now, supposedly, she's elder, and I talked to the guy who brought
The non-working number.
a working number. So I did talk to the neighbor, and he goes, I don't know, apparently her kids put her in a home. They never
Oh,
come
wow.
look at the house. She has no intention of bequeathing it to them, so they're like, let it sit and rot. So that's what's going on. You want to try one more?
Yeah, let's go for it and give it another go. So if she's in assisted living, you can actually outsource to several assisted living homes within the area. Most people, and when they're of that time where they want to go to a home, nursing home, etc., where they want to live in, they want to live still in that general area. You can Google all nursing homes within the 2-mile radius of so-and-so zip code of where your property is located and start calling and asking for this person. And if they do live there, you might be able to get in contact with her and then through her get in contact to her family and then make a deal, guys. It's all about just making point of contact and then making a deal.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, there's nothing special or pretty about this. I mean, it's just good old-fashioned grinding it out, find the person.
What was the phone number?
616.
This is Arlene still?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
4676. I hope so.
4676.
I want to get a hook. I want y'all to see this because it does take a while, guys. Don't get frustrated. It just takes a while.
Consistency trumps everything, guys. And I wouldn't be at where I'm at if I just gave up on a couple of phone calls. This stuff does work, but it's all about being consistent. With marketing, you're in the business of just marketing. You got to keep marketing. You got to keep letting people know who you are. You got to keep handing out business cards. You got to keep putting this persona out there that you are a house buying badass in your neighborhood. So when you find those houses and you get them contracts on them, you can flip them around and resell them to guys like Colin who are in the market to buy as many real estate properties as you can. So I mean, I would highly recommend even marketing here in San Antonio and getting connected with me. I do outsource as well. If you're watching this video, I market in Arizona, I market in Corpus, I market in Houston, I market in Dallas. Texas in general, I love Texas, but I'm also doing Colorado, I'm doing Portland, Oregon, and I'm also marketing in the hood sides of California. So I mean, if you are in any of these areas, add me on Facebook and reach out to me. I have letters constantly going out. This is another way for you guys to build capital. Go for it and take a look at the houses for me. Be my boots on the ground, and I'll cut you a percentage per deal that I buy. If it's a good deal and you and I make big on it, I pay you 30% of the net profit that I make just for being the one who makes point of contact. Not only that, but I'll also teach you guys on how to negotiate with your sellers, how to speak real estate, and how to make things happen in your market starting off. It's getting connected with the real estate meetups that are in your area as well. Because eventually, guys, it's all about marketing. It's all about marketing. It's all about networking. Talk to many people, ask as many questions as you can. I didn't have a bunch of money to pay for a system like this. So you guys are already ahead of me by purchasing this program. Because I didn't have that kind of money. I had nothing. I'm telling you, I was like legit broke. They took everything I had. And I was in jail for the longest time. I had no idea what the hell I was going to do when I got out. So I just made it happen with what I could. And the way that I did that was by going out there and investing in myself and marketing. So by buying this program, you're light years ahead of me from when I first started. There's no excuse to where you guys should be at right now.
I got to tell you, we're actually going to give this one away for free.
Oh, well, there you go.
This is some gold for free. See, even he thinks I should be charging for this. We're not. So, unless you want to, link below. But that's up to you. So, guys, we didn't get anything on it here right now. Q, one of the absolute best in the wholesalers in San Antonio. One of the best wholesalers I know. So much fun to hang out with. And like I said, we're going to be doing a lot more deals here together in the future. If you got any questions, type them in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Q Quentin Flores, right? That's the way it's in there. Q Quentin Flores or Quentin Home Solutions.
Q Home Solutions.
Q Home Solutions, excuse me.
You can go for it, like my Facebook page. Follow me on Instagram at therealestate_beast. I post a lot of content, and there you can see the fruits of my labor because I don't post the money I make on social media on Facebook, but I do it on Instagram because I love Instagram, guys. So yeah, man, I love giving out free knowledge. I love teaching. And if you're really interested in getting involved with your real estate business in your area, this is the video for you guys, man. Follow me, mirror me, do exactly what I do, and you'll get to where you're going in no time to be able to owner finance your way to financial freedom.
That's what we're always looking for, man. He read our book, you know, we're taking these houses and moving into it. You've even heard Q. Q's starting to move. Now that he's got the capital, he's moving to owner finance because, guys, that's how you retire in this game. Now, right now, Q's hustling, and he's damn good at hustling. However, you're going to get old and tired one day, and you're not going to want to hustle anymore. So when you get to that point, you need to start owner financing, and you need to start doing it sooner than later. That way you get there sooner than you think. So if you have any questions for Q or for us, hit us up in the comments. We'll get back to it. If it is a Q-specific question, I promise I'll get Q on there for you. And then we're going to end this with Q making 2 more phone calls.
Yeah,
I want one of these to hit.
Let's try it. Let's do this.
Guys, we're not letting you go. Oh, also, by the way, the skip trace while he's down on that, you got to get the phone. Yes, the skip trace also gives me an email address and alternate mailing addresses. So I'm going to send out some more letters. I'm probably going to handwrite them this time, just because it's a handful. Not as bad. Just because it's a handful of them. And then I'm also going to email them as well, see if I can find some people to get these houses, because they're obviously vacant. So they don't want the house. These are seriously the hottest leads ever. I just gotta find the people.
All right, let's see if we can get a call.
Nice one. Maria.
Yes, I'm looking for Mrs. Maria. Alrighty, I'm sorry about that. Thank you. So again, guys, it's all about consistency. You know what I mean? You gotta try something more because we're doing this, and it's only 3. When I make my phone calls, I got about 100 plus houses. I'm making 100 plus phone calls. And I guarantee you, if you're doing 100 calls like that, you're guaranteed to find a deal. Even if they aren't familiar with this person that you're calling, they could still be interested in selling their property. You never know. Even if the person says, oh, well, nobody by that name's here, you have the wrong number. Well, hey, how you doing? My name is so-and-so, and I'm purchasing real estate in your area. Have you ever thought about possibly selling your house for cash? There you go. You open up the doorway, guys, and that's what it's all about. You build the lead pipeline up, and then you convert that lead pipeline into revenue, which is going to be your amount of money that you're going to make on each deal. So yeah, I'll go for to leave you guys with that. Other than that,
I'll leave these with you. You want to hunt down for me?
Yeah, sure.
I'll split them with you.
I'm good at this. Let's do it.
I'll take them with you. Hey, thanks, Top Flippers. We got more coming up. I'm going to run the numbers down on Blevins, so make sure you check out the next video. We're going to run down, once the whole thing finally closes, we'll run it down, show you what we made. Like I said, it's only $3,000, but I was in Corpus anyways. Yeah. I mean, would you make, like, we're going to make $7,000 from this. Would you make 100 phone calls for $7,000?
Yeah, I would any day. I mean,
all day long.
It's easy stuff, man.
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.